Hi, everyone. John Pojeta here at the VT Services Group. Dan Hudock.
Udoc. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Dan?
I'm good.
All right. So I want to talk about the tendency of salespeople to too quickly come to conclusions. I think they go into a conversation with a prospect looking to get to the conclusion rather than just remaining curious and open and see what comes of the conversation. And what makes me think about this a little bit is I'm a big Michael Lewis fan. So he wrote a bunch of books. The last one I read was The Undoing Project. And he's done a lot of stuff around sports and the Oakland A's and Moneyball and that kind of stuff. And The Undoing Project has a focus around basketball. And he talks about this tendency to make decisions that are a little fatalistic. So he's talking about the Houston Rockets basketball team. They're in their draft room and they're prepping for the draft. And they put a picture of one of the draftees potentially up on the screen. And one person in the room goes, "You can't draft him. He's got man boobs." And everyone kind of chuckles. And forever, he is now known inside their draft room as man boobs. And it's pushed him so far out of the equation that they pass. Well, he becomes a great player. Turns out to be the third best player drafted in that year. And they pass because of the conclusion they came to on a picture. So talk a little bit about the tendency of salespeople coming to conclusions too quickly and not remaining curious and what they can do to try and manage that better.
I'm still stuck on the whole man boob
I
story.
understand.
So there's a quote I heard a long time ago in Sandler, and it is this: the problem the prospect brings you is never the real problem.
Man.
So one of the things here is when someone says, "Hey, I'm having an issue with this or an issue with that," is to become very curious and try to find out why. Because otherwise we offer a solution right away.
Yep.
So for example, if someone said, "Hey, I've got a lot of weeds in my yard, and I happen to be a landscaper or a weed control guy," yeah, no problem at all, fix it. But that's not the problem. The problem isn't the weeds. The problem is the embarrassment of my neighbors looking at it, and all that. That's the actual problem. In my world, salespeople say, "Hey, I need to get in front of more prospects on a regular basis." That's not the problem. The problem is they're too afraid to make the phone call or do the networking
Yeah.
or whatever. And so I think that's maybe something that really helps, John, for both management and sales is whatever issue or problem or concern there is, try to find the underlying thing that's going on there, and you won't be so quick to present to the wrong problem.
There we go. So when I first started in sales, I had somebody who was training, coaching me, and trying to help me develop in terms of the questioning side. And it wasn't known as pain development at the time, but in essence, that. And he said, "I want you to keep asking questions to a depth that until the prospect becomes visibly frustrated by you still asking questions, I don't want you to move on." And it was his kind of way. It didn't last long. He got mature, but he was trying to stress the point of you're just not going deep enough,
Mhm.
and you need an approach that's going to force you to get there.
Especially in the first meetings. The goal should not be to show up and throw up everything I know. The goal should be to show up and ask questions.
Yep.
Once you do that, you uncover the real issue. You can present your solution later.
There we go. All right, everybody. See you again tomorrow.
Have fun.